ready to get this one underway. Our officials, Anthony Jordan, Nathan Bemis, Vladimir Voyard-Tadal, and just like that, there's Colin Cooper, the Fayetteville kid, but he can't score. And Audie's Tony answers on the other end. Hey, we're underway just like that.
Just like that. High-tempo basketball. This is what Arkansas wants.
These teams played a year ago, and that was the first time they had met since the 40s. Another shot altered by Audie's Tony. See the starting five for the Razorbacks, including Jalen Williams, Devontae Davis.
See early on, Arkansas is trying to use their size.
A couple of passes that surprised the Razorbacks. Starting five for the Bears include a former Arkansas Razorback in Darius Hall and a former Fayetteville High School product in Colin Cooper.
A lot of homers in this game.
Indeed it is. This Bears team 1-6 this year. They've been tested with a really difficult schedule. This certainly maybe the stiffest task other than that trip to Baylor, and Tony down on the deck, and finally a held ball is called. It'll stay Razorback basketball.
UCA can't have those, half-court turnovers where they're not even getting a shot on goal.
And Manny, in that Baylor game, they had 17 turnovers in the first half, and the Bears were able to put that one away early.
Yeah, turnovers will kill you, and you've got to limit them, especially when odds are against you. The mid-major team coming into a Power 5 school can't turn the ball over.
Maybe a bit of a surprise to see Chris Likes in the starting lineup. He had settled into that sixth man role, and Devo Davis fouled on his way to the rim.
I've really been impressed with Likes' play over the course of the year. Started off a little slow from a scoring standpoint, kind of filling out his role with the Arkansas Razorbacks, but he's coming along nicely, and he's going to have to play a huge part for them on the offensive end if they want to be successful down the road.
Arkansas had to grind out 2 wins in Kansas City. Took down Kansas State and Cincy. Coach Muss said, hey, we didn't shoot the ball well. They were well below 40%, but they made their free throws, including what Likes was able to do. Devo Davis gets 1 of 2 here. And Manny, they had to win somewhat in an ugly manner. I know every win is pretty, but they really had to find some ways to get a couple of W's in KC.
Yeah, and that is a tell of a really good team. When you can find a way to win when you don't play your best. And if you can do that, you got to feel good about the games like that.
Vanover competing for the basketball. Williams has it. Hawks dangerous in transition. So is Chris Likes. Took the hit, and Williams able to coach one in.
Razorbacks getting out in transition fast. You say another turnover. Want to clean that up early on and not let that linger in the first half.
Jackson Baker, the tough shot and a whistle, and he'll shoot a pair. This is what Likes is able to do, create.
Yeah, he's not afraid to get into the basket, draw those defenders, and then find his big guy, Jalen Williams, down there for the easy basket.
How about the line for Williams on Sunday against Penn? 3, 9, and 6. 3 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
So he's just one of those guys. He's going to affect the game one way or another, whether his shot's off and he's got 10, 15 points, or it's not, and he's getting a bunch of rebounds and doing things on the defensive end. I wonder how many charges he had, because he is an elite charge taker.
Yeah, he might get to 20 on the season. 1 of 2 for Baker for the Bears, their first point of the night. There's a takeaway. Darius Hall, the former Razorback. Chris Likes was able to tie him up. Arrow stays in the Bears end. But how about Darius Hall back in Bud Walton Arena, Manny?
Darius Hall, the guy I actually showed around on his recruiting trip. Awesome dude, love Darius. And it's always fun to, when you're out of school and then you maybe transfer out and you get to come back and play, that's always really fun. So really happy for him, and happy that he's doing well.
His last game as a Razorback was that NCAA tournament loss to Butler. Went to Paul, back in Arkansas. There's Colin Cooper, couldn't hit. But everybody on the floor has their hands on that one. Another tie-up. This time it's Razorback basketball. There's Coach Muss, his third season, coming off that Elite Eight appearance a year ago, and he's got this team undefeated. Again, one of 3 teams in the SEC who's not lost a game. One of 20 teams in the nation. And Manny, in the next week, that number might get cut in half.
I mean, every single week it gets smaller and smaller as teams start to, play some better competition. You start to get into conference play as we get into the new year, and it's hard to stack those wins in college basketball.
Duke went down last night. This is the fun time of the year. Colin Cooper on the drive. Stopped by Devo Davis, no surprise. Shot from Hall won't go. There's another rebound for Jalen Williams.
You can tell Arkansas right now the game plan is to push the tempo. They're getting it out fast.
They're going extremely fast. Hey, there's Anthony Boone, maybe the nicest guy in college basketball. The former Ole Miss Rebel, the West Helena, Arkansas native. Also maybe the smartest. A degree in chemical engineering, a master's in mathematics. How many college coaches can say that?
I mean, why waste your time coaching Division I college basketball? That's all I have to say.
Once it's in your blood, you're not getting that out.
You're not getting it out. It's in there forever.
This was a 5-win team a year ago. There's a takeaway by Chris Likes, and you lay it in for 2. 0 of 7 against Penn on Sunday, so he gets the first hoop early tonight.
Another turnover for UCA. Shooting themselves in the foot right now. Really need to protect the ball and just get some shots on target.
0 for 4 from the field. The 1 point, of course, came from the line, and they've turned the ball over at least 3 times. There's Darius Hall hanging and hitting for the basket.
Nice shot by Darius Hall. He's going to have to play an exceptional game if UCA wants to come out of here with a win. But he's definitely got the capability of doing that.
Yeah, his best game was the one win. It came against Oral Roberts, of course, a pretty good team. Went for 19 and 16.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who can do it all. He's long, athletic. Wow, that's...
He was 34 of 36, and he missed them both. Coach Muss, though, has talked about this being a challenging team to coach. And, of course, he was asked questions about what that meant. There's a knockdown from Jared Chatham, and he said, listen, it's about understanding of your role. And there's a responsibility, of course. You got to have the roles defined. You have to accept them. You have to thrive in your role. That really does evolve over an entire season.
Yeah, it does. And the teams that are the most successful have the most guys figure out what their role is and embrace that role.
Don't you think that's what this team did really well last year down the stretch?
Definitely. This team and last year's team, to me, figured it out early on and just got better at it, and then hit their stride in March. But every single person on the team knew exactly what they needed to do to make the team successful. This team's still figuring it out. It's really early. You're 6-0. You can't be mad about that. But once they do completely figure it out, it's going to be scary.
J.D. Notte can't hit. Williams had his hand on it briefly. Boy, Notte took a shot to the face. 2 players going after the basketball with Hunter. And there's a blocking foul called against Colin Cooper. Let's say that's a pretty good shot. JT was, or Amude was trying to draw some contact.
Amude, another one of those guys, and the free throw woes continue. Amude, one of those guys who came from a program where he was averaging, 20 points plus, and he's one of those guys that I'm really looking forward to seeing how his role evolves into being more of a scorer. You see Notte and Likes are doing a lot of shooting, but Amude is the guy who can put the ball in the basket as well.
And he had that 19-point game against Penn, playing without Tony for most of the second half. Elevating for the rebound was Jalen Williams. Just a 2-point lead for the Razorbacks. They've missed 5 free throws already. Devo Davis with the skip.
Good ball movement for the Razorbacks right there.
Nice shot from Stanley Amuda.
A lot of passes. Got the shot you wanted. That's a really good possession by Arkansas.
Cameron Hunter controlling, a freshman out of Bryant. They are really high on this young man. They think he's got a bright future. He just turned the ball over.
He's got a strong body. Doesn't look like a freshman. Obviously going to have some freshman mistakes out there, but when you've got a body like that already and you really haven't been through the rigors of Division I weight training, who knows what he'll look like in 2-3 years.
That's a good start, as was that basket from J.D. Notte. When these teams played a year ago, it was just a 6-point Razorback lead at the half. It's about 4 pump fakes right there, but Colin Cooper, the Fayetteville High School product, gets the basket.
Fayetteville High School alum. Head coach Kyle Adams is a factory of Division I talent out of Fayetteville High School, if I don't say so myself.
I think you just did. Devo Davis loves that mid-range game, but long on that shot. Rebound down to Chatham. That three just rained in by Kyalud, Paris, France native. He had 14 at Baylor, and his coach Anthony Boone said no moment is too big for him, and these are games I'm sure they're going to lean on that experience.
Yeah, and one thing I love about players from overseas, foreign countries, I played with a few, that fear factor is non-existent with them. They haven't seen their families in 2-3 years. They're kind of come over here, they're by themselves. So, they're not scared of any moment because, like, hey, my life, I'm pretty much alone. I'm not with my family. Colin Cooper, another shot. Looking for the foul, but yeah, they're not afraid of the moment, and they're like, hey, I came over to the United States. That was the biggest, scare of my life. This is nothing.
Tied at 13, and Chris Likes drew the contact, and he'll go to the line. See the knockdown from Cooper. That's an NBA launch.
Nice stroke.
I think he's enjoying his trip here to Bud Walton.
Gotta love coming home.
So Chris Likes already on the board with a field goal, and again, did a lot of his damage in Kansas City from the line. He was 18 of 20 in that event, including a 10-for-10 night when Arkansas needed every one of those points. But already the Hogs have missed 6 free throws. Yeah,
that's definitely don't want that. Free throws will win you games and lose you games. If you can consistently knock down free throws, you're 80% of the time going to come out on top on the scoreboard at the end of the game.
Chris Likes splits a pair. Likes will take a seat. Audie's Tony back in. This is Cameron Hunter, freshman out of Bryant. Had a 19 game against VMI, 17 against Oral Roberts. Kyalud with a long jump shot. Another rebound in traffic by Williams.
Now sitting down at only down 1 point. They've got to feel good, even with the shaky start.
Devo Davis controlling for the Razorbacks. Stanley Amude had a couple of field goals. Now he'll get a slam.
So athletic, so strong. He's a guy that I'm really looking forward to watching once they get into conference play, once they start playing some high-level competition each and every night. How is he going to step up?
I would agree. Maybe his best career game came at Fall Gallen Fieldhouse against Kansas. Had a huge contest, 28 points. Darius Hall on the drive, a physical drive, and he'll finish at the rim.
Darius Hall, someone who's not afraid of playing at this level, has already played at this level at 2 different schools. So we're going to see a lot of him tonight.
Amude can't hit. Tony had the rebound briefly. Jalen Williams fighting for it. Amude has hands on it as well. Another tie-up. It'll stay Razorback basketball. Let's go back and watch this drive from Amude.
So strong, nice rip through. Just using that athleticism.
Got to cut off the baseline, man.
Got to cut off the baseline. It's basketball 101.
Razorback shooting just under 60% from the field. Remember, Note didn't make a three the other day against Penn in 24 shots. You ever take 24 shots in a game?
Maybe over the course of 5 games.
Okay. There's a traveling violation on Darius Hall. But I'm with you, Manny. You talk about Darius Hall. This is a good get for this UCA program. Couple of years of eligibility left. State tournament MVP his senior year from Mills University High School in Little Rock. And this is a player they can really lean on and build around.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who was a 4-star coming out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, highly touted, recruited by a lot of big schools. So really good get for UCA. And they've got to utilize him, because not so often you get guys that are, you know, high-level high school basketball players to come to Central Arkansas. So they got to utilize that.
Coach Boone really preaches a family atmosphere, and he says Darius Hall has been thrilled to be a member of this team and certainly a big contributor as they take the step forward to the A-Sun. Devo takes 2 big steps into the lane, and he'll go right back to the free throw line.
Devo Davis is one of those guys who had a tremendous freshman year, coming back for his sophomore year, still trying to figure out whether he is more of a playmaker, scorer. But once Devo Davis figures out exactly what his role is on this team, apart from being a leader, I think his game is going to take it to that next level.
If you had to guess what type of player he'll be a year or 2 from now, what would you say?
He's going to be one of those guys that you don't want on the other team, but you love having on your team. He's going to guard the best player like he already does, but he's going to develop, the offensive game a little bit more. And I could see him being, a 15, 5-and-5 guy, religiously each night.
You can't argue with that. Right now, the Razorbacks have missed 7 free throws. Hunter defended by Devo Davis. Arkansas really worked on the high-low game of UCA in practice this week. Chatham had his pass deflected. It'll be Bears ball, 8 to shoot. Shot clock is going to become a factor. Cooper.
Nice pass.
Chatham, does he get it off in time? What Arkansas did the other day against Penn, though, they had 48 points in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, a team as big and strong and athletic as Arkansas, they've got to control the paint in most of their games.
Especially on nights when you're not shooting well.
Yeah, and that's how you still have big scoring nights, even when your shot's not falling. And then you got really big scoring nights when you can do both.
Chatham picks up his 2nd personal foul. Razorbacks again 3 of 10 from the line tonight. For a team that's shooting 72% from the stripe.
He's one that you can rely on from the free throw line.
We were here a couple of weeks ago when he had 30 against Mercer. That was personal. He wasn't recruited by Mercer growing up in Georgia, and he was going to take it out on the Bears.
There's always those games as a college athlete. You always get a chance, it seems like, to play against a team or a coach that either turned you down or you thought you should have been recruited because that was your hometown, but they didn't. There's always those opportunities, and you love taking advantage of them.
Sometimes when someone knocks that chip off your shoulder, you got to put it right back on.
After.
Amude went to the deck. Nice pass. Tony had to go through his hands. Thought we were ready for a highlight.
Almost had the highlight.
Cooper shoots over Audie's Tony, and Colin Cooper has 8 quick points.
Colin Cooper had a little bit of a slow start, missed a couple layups, but now coming out, knocking down some tough 3-pointers.
He missed a shot 2 seconds into the game.
2 seconds into the game, but that's just a testament to the player he is. Doesn't let that get to him. A lot of players, you can miss that easy shot, and just shut down the rest of the half. Came back with a vengeance and knocked down some tough shots.
His senior year at Fayetteville High School was a 19-point-a-game performer. And Coach Boone said last year injuries really disrupted his campaign, working to get back and healthy. Oh, my goodness.
Another missed
That's
free
right.
throw. Got to take a breath. Free throws are all about concentration. Just get the ball, take your time. You got 10 seconds. Just take a breath and follow through.
Coach Muss has talked about his team being ranked in the top 10. He said when you're ranked, there's a target, also a responsibility, and added pressure to play your best every night. And Razorbacks have struggled a bit from the line, but do have a 1-point lead.
Yeah, definitely. When you've got that number next to your name, it's can put a feather in someone's hat if they beat you. So they're going to give you their best game. Another turnover. Got it back though.
Taken right back by Hunter. Going to lead to an open three from the corner. That's Darius Hall. He scored 7. And it's the Bears up by 2. Amude can't answer, but his tip is good. And Manny, this has been a slow starting Razorback team almost every single game this year.
Yeah, they start off slower. They give some teams some looks that, and you know, to be fair to the Hogs, some teams come out really hot against them. But yeah, they've got to figure out a way to put 2 halves together. They play like 30-minute games. Got to get to 40 minutes. So
Note defending Darius Hall. Shot clock at single digits for Hunter. Jackson Baker will hoist, and Note clears with the rebound. Note had to spin, but he left the basketball. Cameron Hunter with a run out, and he missed it. My goodness.
Another wide open layup for UCA.
I'm not sure if he got caught between a dunk or a layup.
That one was weird.
He'll never have a more open shot this season.
Nope. Got to convert on those, especially when you're on the road.
Stanley Amuda can't keep that one down. Rebound to Kayalud, and these teams in need of immediate timeout. Tied at 21. Bit of a ragged stretch of play for both teams. Baker defended. He's going to drive. Can't score. Jalen Williams again with another rebound.
Don't want to turn over here.
Oh my goodness, with the left hand, scooped it up and in.
Nice move by Devo Davis. That's what he can do.
Hunter missed the layup, but he hits the contested 3.
I love when a guy can have a bad mistake and then instantly have short-term memory loss and come back and make a big play for their team.
He needed that shot.
Needed that shot. That was big.
And the Bears are 5 of 6 from 3-point land. Again, we're almost 2 minutes overdue for a media break. We'll play on. Note, a wide open 3, and J.D. Note buries the triple. Feels pretty good for him after going 0 of 6 from distance on Sunday against the Quakers.
It's always good to get that shot to fall.
Kayalud can't lay it in. Trying to follow his own miss. Active hands of Devo Davis with a rebound. Jackson Robinson seeing some action. Seeing the scorebook with the triple. Timeout, UC.
We got a good game on our hands.
Kayalud controlling another knockaway. Amude got the steal. Did he walk with it? That was close. Amude started the break, and then he hits the 3, and that's 11 for Amude coming off that 19-point game Sunday against Penn.
We talked about it. He's one of those guys that if he can, get the consistency scoring going, Arkansas is going to be even more dangerous.
He's that extra weapon Arkansas may have, and Muss has talked about guys like Likes and Amude, saying we need some pop, some guys that come off the bench. He's given them some pop tonight.
Yeah, definitely one of those guys who can bring energy, but he can also match that energy with an innate scoring ability as well. So he's definitely a unique player.
Bears just trying to get this ball in bounds. Kayalud threw it off Robinson. Boy, the ball looks like it's slippery tonight.
Hot potato.
My goodness gracious, somebody pick it up. And Darius Hall felt like he got the step, and Jalen Williams sends one into the seats. That was a volleyball spike.
Volleyball spike.
This is just chaos here, man. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The whole 5. Team touches it.
This is something out of the Three Stooges. And this is how the possession ends. Take that. That might make a blooper tape.
That might. Shaq the fool maybe, but it just ended so well. I don't know if it could.
You ever been to the state fair when they have the grease pig competition? Fans on the video board seeing the blocked shot from Jalen Williams. I believe there might be a shot clock issue. Wouldn't be college basketball if we didn't have one or two of these issues a game, right?
Nope. It's part of the game now.
I came from Cancun where if the thing worked for 4 games, we were pretty happy. Colin Cooper said a big first half. Again, bodies on the deck. Devo with the steal. Baseball pass ahead to Amuda. He couldn't flush it. He was too far out, but he elevated.
He took off right when he caught it. He needed one slight dribble.
Does it feel like we're all just a little bit off, a step
I think
short?
everyone is. I think everyone is.
This is a bizarre 3-minute stretch. Ball's on the deck, falling down. I love this baseball pass here from Jalen Williams, and yet Amude
didn't get the lift he needed.
Poppy with that. There's going to be some laughs on film study the next couple of days.
There definitely will be.
Laughs so you don't cry, I guess. Razorbacks have built this 8-point lead. Darius Hall with the basketball. Colin Cooper hoisting a 3. Boy, again, if Williams doesn't get the rebound, he gets his hands on the basket.
Yeah, he's always in the mix. He's always in the trenches in those plays.
Devo Davis able to have that ball dislodged and then picked it up and scored. He has 7 points. Colin Cooper will answer. He's in double figures. He's hit 3 threes, and that's where the Bears are staying in this game.
Colin Cooper getting it done for his team. Using the great equalizer to keep UCA within striking distance.
Our last broadcast was here for Northern Iowa when the Panthers hit 17 3-pointers. Arkansas done a much better job defending the 3 in recent games, not today. Note probing, Note shooting and scoring.
JD Note, one of those guys who can, you take away his first look, he's got a second look, you take away a second look, he's got a third, he might have 4.
Arkansas's pushed this lead up to 9. And Manny, it feels like their defense has disrupted the Bears when they haven't been able to get an open 3.
Yeah, Arkansas's done a really good job pressuring the ball handlers. And
they aren't switching on these dribble handoffs either. KK Robinson in the game. Another rebound for Williams. That is number 8 in the first half for Jalen. Arkansas is playing some different guys tonight. KK Robinson, Jackson Robinson, Amude on the drive, and he'll hit the deck. I know Coach Muss was being asked a lot of questions about why he's not playing more guys from his bench or playing some of these reserves a little bit longer. And he said, hey, listen, there needs to be a consistency, because if I put the reserves in and our 14-point lead goes down to 8, those starters are going right back in.
Yeah, no, man, that's the what you have to do as a head coach. You got to make those decisions. You got to manage, the game. How long you're going to take the starters out? How much time are you going to give a reserve to actually prove that, hey, I need more minutes? It's a juggling game, and it's a really hard thing to do. But the truth is, Arkansas's got a lot of talent, so it's kind of hard to, say, hey, you're not going to play, or someone else is going to play all these minutes and you're not, because there's just so many guys who deserve playing time.
When was the last time Arkansas was 5 of 16 from the free throw line?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be the first time in history.
There's Cameron Hunter with an answer. Arkansas's missed free throws, UCA's threes kept this a game. A year ago at the half, again, it was a 6-point Razorback lead at the break. Similar game today. Hey, Williams can hit that shot, but not this time.
Okay, he's got a good-looking stroke. Didn't get that one to fall.
And a blocking foul going against Elias Cato, young man from Australia. Full head of hair there.
Yeah, bringing in the overseas recruits. I like it.
The 4 players from foreign countries on this roster, including Cato. Nigeria, Sweden, France represented. Here's KK Robinson, 5th game he's played this year.
KK is another one that I'd love to see him get into a rhythm within the rotation. I like his game, and he obviously hasn't been as big a part of the rotation this year, but I love his game. I think he's smooth, and he could maybe be one of those guys that you're looking for from a point guard perspective that gets the team involved and really holds the team down as the point guard.
Because one of Arkansas's storylines is guys handling the point that weren't point guards last year.
Yeah, that's what it is. You got a lot of guys who, their initial thought is, I need to score the basketball, running point, and it shows sometimes. They'll have to continue to figure that out, but KK could be one of those guys who is a pass-first guard.
It's 11 fouls on the Bears in this first half. It hasn't hurt them sending Arkansas to the line, but it's kept them from clearing the rebound and taking it the other direction.
Yeah, they've got to start converting on, hit some 2-for-2s, but it's definitely slowing down the UCA break.
Stanley Amude, 4 years at South Dakota playing for Todd Lee, a former Musselman assistant. Scored 13 to lead the way for the Hogs in this first half. Wild drive, but Cameron Hunter was able to get that shot up off the window to go to the line.
You think about it, so KK Robinson also went to Bryant. We got 2 Bryant alums going at it head-to-head. College basketball, love to see that for the city of Bryant.
Cameron Hunter has a chance, and you mentioned his physique, a chance to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got the college body. As a freshman, you don't see that a lot. Almost looks like a linebacker or a defensive back in football.
Coach Boone said he was really coached well in high school at Bryant, but came in physically ready for this level.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, your coaching that you got before college really shows your first year. So when you've got good coaches early on in your career, it really helps you out.
It was around, but it stayed out. Rebound to Kaialun. Hunter wide right. Jalen Williams might be in double figures in rebounds before this half is over. That's 9. There's something wrong with this basketball tonight. It's being bobbled and kicked. And
someone put some grease on it. Good no call by the ref.
Jalen Williams wanted to charge, but Darius Hall gets the basket.
Yeah, it's a little bit of sloppy play right now in the first half. Might get that on a Wednesday night game.
That's a pretty drive by Amude. 15 first half points.
Yeah, he's playing really well. I enjoy watching Stanley Amude play. He's can do it all. Strong defender, athletic. He's fun to watch.
Bit of a wild shot by Hunter.
Got to kick it out at that point.
Jalen Williams just stuffed it.
That's the freshman in Hunter right there. You get that rebound after the missed shot. You got to find your shooter and get a wide open look while the defense is converging on you.
Is that frustration, just wanting to finish what you started?
Yeah, he wanted to finish, got in there, feel like he may have got fouled, so wanted to try to score.
An official's whistle. Is KK Robinson over the baseline? But he made contact with the ball. It would have been a technical foul. That may have been a warning of some sort. Put that off your bingo card tonight. And a foul on J.D. Note draws the ire of Coach Muss. Right in front of Anthony Jordan.
Musselman not happy with that whistle right there.
UCA's had a really hard time getting the ball in bounds. Taken away by K.K. Robinson. And he stepped out of bounds. I don't know how many times the team has had a takeaway only to give it right back within a second. The shot clock is shut off in this wild first half from Bud Walton. It's been decades since Arkansas has hosted a game here as a top 10 team. That's a three-pointer from the corner by Jackson Baker. That's 7 triples for the Bears in the first half.
UCA's continuing to stay within striking distance with the 3 ball.
It'll count if it goes. And we are underway in the second 20 minutes. This is the half that Arkansas has owned. One of the reasons why they're 6-0 in this young season. Connor Vanover hasn't scored until now.
Vanover post up. You don't see that very often, but
I like that. Come out of the break, get an easy 2.
I like it. I do like it. Come out, you know, get that lid off the basket early, get a nice easy bucket.
Bit of a wild shot there by Hunter. Hogs will come back 5 on 4. Devo Davis gliding to the basket. That's a quick 4 for the Razorbacks.
That's the kind of start you want if you're Arkansas. You want to eliminate the Central Arkansas team's confidence early on, so they don't think they have a chance to win this game late.
Darius Hall was trying to draw some contact, missed the shot. Bears have missed 2 or 3 shots at the rim. Devo Davis, 2 big steps, and now he's in double figures with 11. Mystery, and it's extra special when the 2 participants separated by 4+ decades at a phone call continue to build their friendship and relationship.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really what sports is all about. You know, the older generation giving back, you know, reaching out to the younger generation, and even vice versa, and just showing that, hey, we're here for you, and that's just awesome. That's what it's all about.
Devo said they spoke for 30 minutes. He had a huge smile at his face, as he normally does, talking about that conversation with Sidney Moncrief about their dunks, 40-some years separated. And hey, you don't get a story like that if you're broadcasting from your kitchen. Devo was telling that today, and it was a great story we had to relay. And there's a drive and a basket from Audis Toney. When Sidney Moncrief calls you up and says, young man, I saw your dunk, I want to talk to you, it makes everybody smile, as does this basket from Toney. So good at getting to the rim.
Amazing at getting to the rim. So much balance, so much strength to get the ball up and finish the play. Really enjoying his season thus far. But, I mean, Devo Davis, that's awesome. To get a call from, like you said, one of the guys on the Arkansas Mount Rushmore is amazing, and something that he's going to remember the rest of his life.
Such a classy individual as Sidney Moncrief went into the Hall of Fame recently. Note on the push. There's Toney. Audis Toney quickly to the other end for the basket. And speaking of quickly to the other end, that was another miss by Chatham. How many have they missed at the 10?
You know, it's been right there, and they just can't seem to get some of them to fall, and it's really hurting them on the scoreboard.
There's Note, a little bit of a wild drive, and then Jalen Williams bumped Darius Hall. Hall came out of the second half with a huge ice pack on his back, and that certainly didn't feel very good either. J.D. Note, man, he's so good at the steals.
Yeah, he can get up the ball quick. Right to Audis Toney. Audis Toney is one of those guys who always seems to just be in the right place at the right time. Every game.
You know, Cincinnati coach Wes Miller after that contest said he was a nightmare on the glass, and you could see it in that game.
Yeah, man, he's just so active. You know, when you're that active, it shows, and you're, you know, the opposing coach's worst nightmare.
There's a foul on Connor Vanover, a chance for an and one from Cameron Hunter. This is the freshman going against the 7-footer. And a chance for a three-point play.
That's one thing I like about Cameron Hunter. You know, he's gone in there, gotten blocked a few times, missed a few, but you know, he's not bashful. You know, he misses 2. That third time, he's still going to keep attacking you. And that's something that you don't see in younger players. You know, they have a few mistakes and they kind of cower down. Cameron Hunter doesn't do that, and that's very mature.
No, it's a great point. It's something they can really build around for future years as this program takes a step forward into the A-Sun. It'll be a tremendous challenge. Well, Jalen Williams, such a good passer. Note couldn't hit. Guess who? He knows where the misses are going to come.
It's just timing and reading where the ball comes off the rim. He's one of the best rebounders in the SEC.
Clock did not start. Coach Muss got him to come from Pitt in the portal. Tony said his persistence won him over, and Muss's pitch was, we win, or we're going to develop you to play after college.
And what else do you want to hear?
Yeah, what else? Because Tony knew about the Martin twins and their success at Nevada. Guess who? Tony again, running the floor.
Come on now. He's got to stop. You can't be in that many places at once.
He knows we're talking about him. And Darius Hall answers, and he's up to a dozen, and the Bears need those threes and need more production from Hall. But Manny, it's Tony beating everybody down floor. He's going to try and get this rebound.
Yeah, he's just out hustling, out willing the competition, and it's showing.
Baker hit a three in the first half. That was up there in the rafters. Rebound to Tony. No tail. The drive, and it's going to be a charge.
He got there.
Officials looked at each other. They had that eye contact. Let's take a look, Manning.
His feet are out there. You'll see him plant. I mean, he kind of got to the side, but we're going to get that call, 8 out of 10 times.
J.D. Note with 8 points takes a seat. Razorbacks trying to pull away, as they have done year in and year out in the second half against some of these non-conference opponents. That's another charge, and there is Jalen Williams. He's in double figures this season in charges he has taken. There's no fear whatsoever.
Now, and charges are a coach's favorite play. You look at what happens on a charge. The player gets a foul, the team gets a team foul. You change possession. It's just one of those plays that's so vital to winning. And when you have a guy who constantly steps in there, gives his body up for the team, you gotta love that. You gotta love having guys who do that on your team.
Yeah, it's uplifting. Williams had a hard time getting that ball up to the 10. Again, bodies on the floor as the Bears race into the front court. Vanover closing out on Baker. And it's out of bounds.
It's one of those plays. It's like Christian Laettner over Pelfrey. It's just that's what you sign up for. When you play college basketball, you sign up to that might be a possibility.
There's some people that would probably over time be okay with the outcome and realize what a great moment it was. That wouldn't be me, by the way. I'd probably throw a brick through my TV after seeing that for the 200th time. But
yeah, I'm one of the grumpy guys. Hey, turn that off.
Grumpy
what are we watching? Yeah.
Jalen Williams. He had a 2 in a 10 game, 2 points, 10 rebounds before that hoop.
Kids, take a look. Jalen Williams hasn't come off the floor tonight, and he has 2 points up until that layup. It's not all about scoring. It's about helping your team win. He'll probably lead the team in minutes and hasn't really scored at all. You can do so much.
The other day, with 3 points against Penn, he had the biggest plus-minus of any Razorback on the floor because of the assists and the rebounds.
Yeah, take notes. He's a guy, and I'm not saying scoring is bad, and you do want to score, but you can affect this game of basketball in so many ways. And just take notes and watch what Jalen Williams does for his team. He's a winning player.
Coach Muss said part of the problem is when he has the basketball, we have 3 guys cutting at once. Everybody thinks they're going to get it back door.
That is the one thing as a guard playing at this level. When you have a big who can pass the ball, Trey Thompson on my team had really soft hands, could really pass the ball. When you have someone who can make those passes as a guard, you're cutting instantly, and you guys might run into each other. There he goes again, Jalen Williams, with a smile on his face, so much energy. But when you have someone who can make those passes, the guards are running into each other because they want to cut.
Everybody's excited. He said, wait a minute, one guy at a time gets the cut when Jay Will has the basketball, but he got a slam, and now he's looking for a baseball pass.
He's ready for that throw.
He was going to throw that thing to Bogle Park. Great pass to Amuda. He wasn't ready, Manny. He wasn't expecting that pass. Jalen Williams, again, always seems to be in the right place at the right time. Able to gather and flush.
Always got a nice smile on his face. He's having fun.
This was a 6-point lead for the Hogs at the half. just as it was a year ago. Chris Likes came close to getting a takeaway. Fighting for that basketball. I think that might be our 10th tie in this game.
I mean, I thought we got rid of the greased up ball. Guess not.
This was the old days. We get tired of throwing it in the air with a jump at the center circle. I know Likes wouldn't win that one with Kylou.
Probably not. But who knows? Likes got a lot of heart.
He does. Bears have made 9 threes. Likes again fighting for it, and that's going to be a foul on Colin Cooper. Just like a gnat, Chris Likes is always around you, buzzing.
Always around you. See right there, low center of gravity can push you off your balance, and just so fast and quick, and just a disruptor.
It's 4 fouls on Cooper, so he's going to have to exit. Hasn't scored in the second half, and he was a big part of what they did in the first 20 minutes. And Coach Boone there, he's going to have a conversation with him and calm his sophomore down. You know, Cooper has so much emotion, Manny, about playing here in Fayetteville. He's had this game on his calendar for months.
Oh yeah, this is one that's circled. You know, when you get a chance to come home and play in front of all your friends, family. I'm sure he's got a lot of people in the stands, tickets. You want to play well so bad, and he's played well. He knocked some shots down, had a bad foul right there, but you got to enjoy coming back to play at home.
Coach Boone from West Helena played here 4 times as an Ole Miss Rebel. And he said every time I told myself, it's just one game, tried not to put more emphasis on it. And he said I was lying to myself every time. I'd get in the game and I'd say it does mean more.
Yeah, you lie to yourself. I mean, anytime you've got some ties to a team, it just means more. And you can't really say anything else about it.
There's J.D. Note. He will reach double figures, and that's a plateau he has been in for all 7 Razorback games. Had to work a little harder today to get to 10. Oh, that was a collision with Chatham and Williams. J.D. Note also got his 3rd steal, so that is a big number that he has put up on a regular basis. Tough pass from Chatham to Reeves. BJ Reeves, the catch in the hoop. Arkansas shooting just under 60% for the game. On a night they have been terrible from the free throw line, they've been fantastic from the field. Make sense of that, Manny.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you've got a high free throw percentage, but a little bit of the opposite for the Razorbacks tonight. They still want to figure out those free throws, because you're playing an opponent in UCA that really can't match up with you physically. But when you start getting the SEC, those games are going to come down to shooting 18 for 20 from the free throw line, 20 for 25, those type of numbers.
We saw that in Kansas City.
Yeah, got to knock them down.
It's a foul on Amudek away from the basketball. Coach Boone felt like when his team got done playing in Waco against Baylor, they were shell-shocked. And, that was an honest admission. He was hoping they'd handle the ball better today or play better for longer stretches. They have when they've held on to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, if they can stop the turnovers, they've got some guys who can put the ball in the basket. He's got nice strokes, can drive the ball. Darius Hall being one of them, but you just got to limit the shooting yourself in the
That's
foot.
right. Empty possessions. Darius Hall had that one swatted away. Tony again. 2-on-2 break. Tony from one end to the other. The beautiful teardrop. Those 2 big steps, almost a Euro move. Man, he's going to have some nights where he might take over some games, even in conference play.
Yeah, he will. He's too active, plays too hard, can shoot it, rebound. He just can do everything.
And Darius Hall being bumped by Tony.
I think the ball is just permanently wet, because people cannot hold on to it.
I mean, it is 70 degrees outside, but it isn't that warm, even though we're in December. Audie Stoney, nice find for Williams. He bobbled it, but still able to get the lay-in.
Tony Williams, inside-out duo. I really like that. That could be something a force to be reckoned with in the SEC this year.
The lead is 20. Razorbacks shooting 59% from the game. Keep in mind it was 34% against Cincinnati, 36% against K-State. There's that wet ball again.
I mean, it's been a matter. It's going to be a matter of time before the Arkansas team had one of those games where they shoot to 60%, and this one is looking like it's going to be that one. But it was just going to be a matter of time before they put it all together.
How about Williams getting a rebound on his back?
Just fighting.
Muda just wanted that a little bit more.
Yeah. That all started with Jalen Williams getting on the floor, biggest guy on the court, diving for the ball and keeping it alive for his team.
His 12th rebound came while he was on the ground, and then he just takes that ball away from Kaialu. Tony got the position, made the catch, scored the basket. So Tony has 15, Amude has 17.
Definitely won't let him.
It must be fun to go back, visit that gym, and look up and say, I was part of that.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's taking the family too, and it's really cool seeing your dad have that success. Colin Cooper got up in the air and just didn't let go of the ball.
All dressed up, but no place to go. Got up in the air and came down with the traveling violation. It's been an impressive night for Cooper, though, something to build on for the Bears. The Razorbacks might get a chance to get some guys like Jackson Robinson into the game. Hey, Chris Light's going to post up a couple of Bears. Nope. Robinson is a good three-point shooter. Just couldn't hit that one.
Yeah, and you can tell the really good shooters on even on their misses, it's a soft miss. The ball's not hard off the rim, and you can tell he's just a guy with a nice stroke because he can shoot it, and even his misses look good. And that's how you know you're a really good shooter.
Shot clock down to 4. Cooper needs a high screen. Cooper's going to have to hoist. Note with the floor rebound. Arkansas cooling off just a bit. 12-2 run though for the Razorbacks as they pulled away here in the second half. And there's Cooper. I like his game, man.
Yeah, no, he can play. He's a scorer at heart, always has been since he was a little kid running around the gym. He's strong, and he gets better and better every time you see him.
Chris Likes on the floor. Was that on Cooper? That's number 5. He's going to foul out with 13 points, and the Bears will play the remaining 9 minutes-ish without him.
Yeah, you never want to have to cut the homecoming game short, but nothing but respect for Colin Cooper. Played a great game, knocked a lot of shot downs. I'm with you. I really like this game. He's got a lot to build on, and I think you'll be seeing a lot more from him for the UCA Bears.
Chris Likes picked up the dribble. Officials conferring from across the floor. They aren't sure which direction we're going, and it'll stay Razorback ball, but 9 to shoot. Coach Mustang, look at the clock, pointing to the 9. Devo Davis to inbound. Tony, the catch. He'll go right back to the free throw line for Audis. Tony. Tony had 32 points, being named as the MVP of that Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City. It's a 14-6 player on average a year ago at Pitt. I see the free throw issues haven't changed. That was One of the few here in the second half.
Now that I think about it, the free throw issues got to be a direct correlation with how slick the ball is tonight, with all the diving around. That's my only explanation for it.
They're wiping off the ball right now. The official has a towel. Anthony Jordan just took the towel from Joe Klein's son, I think, and just wiped down the basketball. What's going on?
I don't know what is going on. Something's fishy with that basketball.
Hunter got too far under.
I knew something was off with all the missed free throws.
Well, can't help, right? Cameron Hunter, the freshman from Bryant, will go to the free throw line. Well, the Bears are sub 500 or 50% shooting free throws. What have you seen two teams below 50% with 8 minutes to go in a game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it. Central Arkansas's got to get some more volume. They haven't really been in the free throw line. 2 misses there, but yeah, this is not been a clinic from the free throw line.
These teams are a combined 13 of 30 on free throws tonight.
Just like so quick. Milo the Bulldog, so he's just fast. He can get down. I love watching him play.
That's a beautiful shot by Likes. And he's up in the grill of Reeves.
Trailblazers, Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, guys like that. It puts it in perspective, and for the guys out here, it makes you think, like without those guys, I would have never had this opportunity. So it's amazing to see, and I'm really glad that they, got the opportunity to do that.
I would agree. Buck O'Neal, of course, was part of that for so many years. There's Cato running the floor, and Amude just sends one into the seats. Looked like Cato was going to have himself a basket, and Arkansas blocked another one. Baker working against Wade. That's another rebound for Amude. He's at 8. He's close to a double-double. I want to see those jump shots start to fall for Likes, and he hits, but that's a 2.
He's no stranger to those tough jump shots.
That one's going to end up out of bounds. Turnover to the Razorbacks. Likes said, Manny, early on he felt like he was thinking too much, wanted to be aggressive and just go out there and play. And I think we see it, right, when he's thinking too much and when he's just out there reacting.
You can tell the difference. And part of that is going to come with a new team. When he was with Miami, kind of the offense, revolved around him. It was him, get the ball, either go score, we're going to do a pick and roll. Devo Davis with a nice strong move there. He's been getting to the basket with ease tonight, really liking his play. But Chris Likes kind of had his role set where, like, I'm going to be taking the shots, I'm going to be driving. You see Devo Davis right here, double behind the back. Nice double move to get to the basket and finish strong. But with Arkansas now, Chris Likes is kind of settling in more, and he's like, hey, I'm going to still play my game, and it's showing. And again, it's just so much fun to watch. I love when he can get the pull-up jump shots and starts dribbling. It's a sight to see.
Indeed. New season high for Devo. He had 10 against Northern Iowa, shooting for his 14th. Ball went in on a free throw attempt. Cameron Hunter running the point for the Bears. Their one win came against Oral Roberts. We know about that team from a year ago. They haven't been afraid to schedule St. Louis, Butler, Arkansas, Baylor. Apparently Gonzaga wasn't available.
You're seeing it a lot more college basketball. These teams are scheduling a lot of good games early on in the season before conference.
Jackson Robinson running the floor and played that one in.
Tell you what, Jackson Robinson's earned a few more minutes in this game. He's played well. Some composure for being so young and haven't had as much playing time. Looks like he's a veteran out there.
He should be a true freshman. Again, last year, early enrollee, didn't play a lot at A&M. A&M didn't play a lot. They had a COVID issue all February. Look at that move from Likes. Oh my!
He's got to embrace this and you know, try to keep this run going as long as you possibly can.
Fans have waited a long time to see this team in the top 10. Cato bumping with Kamani Johnson. Kamani's going to enjoy the game this weekend, don't you think, against his former team?
Yeah, that's another one. The game, Arkansas Little Rock came in here not too long ago with that jersey on, and you get to go back and try to beat up on your old guys.
I know Anthony Boone was so excited to be playing in this game. He said, listen, you know, it's obviously good for the state. It's good exposure. It's a chance for us to recruit to this, to say, listen, you're going to get to play other teams around the state, including Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, I love when you play the other schools around the state, and let's see who's the best team in the state. Like, I really enjoy that. I think that should be a mandatory requirement for non-conference teams. You know, the state school got to play all the smaller schools in the state. You got to win your state before, you know, you get to conference play.
SK Shaitu with the basket, and from Nigeria. Had 11 last year in 13 minutes against the Razorbacks.
SK's another guy who was on my list for showing around.
From Rogers,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
And that's where he went to high school?
Yep. When I was on the Razorbacks, he came in and I was his guy for his official visit. Really nice dude. Glad to see he's doing well at UCA.
Trey Wade with the hit. It was several years ago where he went down and basically died for a few minutes in a pickup game and had to put the defibrillator in his heart, and it hasn't had an issue since. But a young man from Nigeria who had that issue, and he was lucky that they were able to respond and save his life. And there he is with the rebound. He was a soccer player growing up. Said he was terrible at basketball. When you're 6'9", you better figure it out,
better
right?
figure it out.
Might bank that one in. That was hard off the glass. Nearing the 4-minute mark. Been all Razorbacks in the second half. Like's not afraid to run into a wall, as he did right there with Eddie Kaialud. That's the 8th team foul as VJ Reeves check in, replacing Jackson Baker. Chris Likes chasing double figures tonight, averaging 12.7 a contest. Of course, we saw him with 26 against UNI in that wild game when Arkansas needed every one of those points.
Yeah, you know, those firecrackers that can just go off randomly, get you 30. It's a luxury to have a guy like that on your team.
Kaialud try to go around Kamani Johnson. Are they going to call a block? They will. That's a pained expression from Kamani. Wasn't sure there was a lot of contact when he hit the deck. He was hoping to get the whistle.
Not enough contact there. Got in position, but
there's no contact.
Yeah, no contact with the UCA.
He was trying to sell that, wasn't he?
Yeah, trying to sell it.
Kaialud, the native of Paris, with the free throw, his first point here in the second half. Also played at Oak Hill Academy. Arkansas scored 100 against the Bears last year. They Might not be able to get to that plateau. There is Kamani Johnson, and he will coax one in. How about the points in the paint right there for Arkansas? 54.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you do when you're an athletically superior team. You pound it on the inside and get those easy baskets, and that's what they've done today.
So 54 the other day against Penn. They had 48. That'll work. More than 100 points in the paint in 2 games combined.
Yeah, no, that's what you want. That's what you want, and you want to get a rhythm doing that.
KK Robinson left it on the iron. KK, I thought he might have a run out. Extra pass to Likes. Stolen again. My goodness, he's a pest.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Jackson Robinson. That must feel good.
Gotta feel good. But you're right, I like Jackson Robinson. Athletic, can shoot it, understands how to play the game. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think it's a bright future.
Yeah.
He was happy Arkansas was willing to take him after he turned them down the first time to go to A&M, but hey, recruit them all the first time. You never know when you're going to get them the second time.
Never know when you're going to get them.
We're well overdue for a media break again. An uninterrupted stretch. And it continues with a Reeves basket. 6 points all in the second half for BJ Reeves. I've never seen them play all the way through the under 4 timeout to the horn. When you have to get one more media break in.
First time ever, they're gonna have to get a call.
There's always a whistle somewhere, but we haven't had one yet. Send that one out of bounds. Swatted by Wade. Klintman. I might be wrong.
I don't know. No, Portland was the team he went to.
Yeah, you're sort of
later.
close. A Seattle Supersonic.
Supersonic. I knew I was in that area. I knew that was in that area.
Traded his rights to the Bulls. Boy, did they regret that.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like the Hornets getting rid of Kobe.
That's right.
Ugh.
Good call by you. But the fact it was NAIA back there in the day.
NAIA. Unreal.
There'll never be a team quite like the Chicago Bulls with Pippen and Jordan. You throw in a Rodman, a few of those great names.
You like them or Kevin Durant Warriors?
No, I like the Bulls because they were must-see
Depends on the
TV.
era, the rules.
I understand. I have a few decades on you, Manny. You might say the Warriors. You forget how big it was when they were on NBC. There's a basket by Klintman. Also had a B.J. Armstrong and a Bobby Hansen and a few good Iowa guys as role players on that team. But when Rodman got there, I mean, they were the Beatles.
Yeah. I've heard. I have heard.
There's KK Robinson. He got the basket, then the triple.
Another guy with a smooth stroke. Arkansas is littered with guys who can. Every shot looks good.
Hawks might just get to that 100-point plateau. eBay Klintman from Sweden goes right back to the line. Wish these Bears well in the A-Sun. They are picked near the bottom. It's going to be a challenge just going into a new league with more talent. And as Coach Boone said, hey, we don't even know where to fly into or what restaurant to eat at. Everything that comes with being in a league.
About that kind of stuff.
And then, of course, every scout is brand new.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the family. You've been in the league for a while. You kind of know team styles, what coaches like to do. But yeah, this is a clean slate for UCA, which is exciting. You kind of get to see where you stack up with the new conference. But yeah, definitely going to be a learning curve.
They're in the Western Division of that conference. Jacksonville State, Eastern Kentucky, Lipscomb, North Alabama. Part of the few. Lawson Blake also into the game. We have exceeded the over-under on tie-ups today. Razorback basketball. Lawson Blake has to get a shot up, doesn't he?
Yeah, you have to. Got to get up one. I don't know if clock is ticking.
He's got to get going. The Fayetteville kid, KK Robinson, can't get it. Inside, 10 seconds to play. Arkansas led by just 6 at the half. There's Wade! Exclamation mark and the flush.
Finish it off.